Is it even worth it to live in Bangalore? You might have seen news headlines talking about how Bangalore is the most unlivable city with crazy rent, with traffic, and just a lot of problems in general. Well, I've been living in Bangalore for 2 years at this point, and let me share my perspective. By the end of this video, I'll share how much money do I spend as a 23-year-old living in Bangalore, how much is the least amount of money you will need to survive in Bangalore, and at the end, I'll share one very important insight which will change your perspective about Bangalore completely. So make sure that you watch till the end, hit the like button and subscribe. Let's actually start with the first topic, rent. Rent is super expensive in Bangalore, is what you might have heard. In the last 2 years, I've changed 4 different houses. Depending on where you decide to stay in Bangalore, a 2 or 3 BHK can cost you anywhere between 40 to 70, 80,000 rupees per month as well. I personally pay 52,000 rupees per month. I have a 3 BHK, about 1800 square feet. We live in the north part of the city because it's very easy for me to commute to the airport and also to the city if I want to do that. And that is basically saving me time on both the fronts. But as we'll talk in the later part of the video, you can also very well have flatmates, you can also live in hostels, and you can end up saving a lot of money. I'll talk about how much that costs in the later part of the video. Now, one important tip that we'll be discussing when I talk about the least money that you need to survive in Bangalore is that the best thing you can do to save your time and cost is to live near where you'll be working. So let's say that your office is in HSR layout. Let's say your office is in Indranagar. Let's say your office is in Kormangla. It's very important for you to be living near that office so that you can just either walk or just take a very cheap auto to actually reach there. Or you would actually have to spend a lot of time either taking a metro, or you'll spend a lot of money in cabs and wait at least 30 minutes to an hour just going to and fro. The people who work at our office, they all live about 7 to 10 minutes of walking in that area around the office, and that has worked really well for them. They are fresh, they reach the office without spending a lot of time or money, and they can fully dedicate their efforts into doing the work every single day, and that works best for them. Another big problem in Bangalore are the landlords. Now, I have experienced this myself. There are a lot of landlords which are not great. They will ask you to vacate the place at any time. They'll randomly increase the prices and ask you to pay up or leave, or in general just be very rude to you. And even when I was trying to get a flat in Bangalore, they used to ask me very weird questions. Where do you work? How much do you make? Are you vegetarian? That makes sense. But the other parts were just purely weird. Send me your LinkedIn profile. They'll ask me for my ITR. They'll ask me for other stuff which just doesn't even make sense. And I have faced a lot of problems with these landlords. The best thing you can do is just to take recommendations from friends about who is a good person and what is a good society to live in. The next biggest expense that I take up is travel. Now, I am traveling every single month to either Delhi, to Mumbai, or I'm traveling to Hyderabad, or I'm going to, let's say, Dubai, or I'm flying to US. And that's basically what majority of my expenses look like. On average, I spend about 1 to 1.5 lakh rupees every single month on just travel. And it's very important. This is more like a business expense for me because I'm traveling, I'm meeting people, I'm closing deals. I'm also basically getting to work with brands. I'm coming here to the US, I'm experiencing different events, meeting all these people, and it's very important for me to travel. Just a couple years ago, I was obsessed with saving money. I would think twice before spending anything. Every purchase felt like an unnecessary expense. Basically, I used to believe that the less I spent, the smarter I was with money. But what I didn't realize was that not spending money is not the same as managing money wisely. Now, I have my office in Bangalore, but I also keep traveling to US every couple of months for work. In fact, right now I'm in Seattle, and I also recently took my parents for their 25-year anniversary to Dubai for a 3-day trip. But with all of this, my expenses shot up. No matter how careful I was, my savings kept going down. So flights, hotels, forex fees, it all adds up super fast. I knew I couldn't just stop spending. Instead, I had to find a way to save while I was spending. And that is when I found out a credit card that actually helps me do that. Scapia Federal Credit Card. Number 1, no forex charges. Other cards add a hidden fee whenever you try to shop outside of India. This card doesn't. In total, from all the purchases I've done in San Francisco and New York, I've saved over 8,000 rupees in forex fees. Number 2, no annual fee ever. While other cards might charge about 5,000 rupees plus per year for you to just keep using them, this card stays free forever. Number 3, 10% back in Scapia coins. Every time I book flights, hotels, or even spend in daily things, I get back coins that I can then use in the future for free travel. For example, from the stay that I booked for my parents in Dubai, I got enough points for a free Mumbai flight later. Number 4, free airport perks, free lounge access and free coffee. Last time I got a Starbucks and a book before my flight without spending a rupee. If you even travel once or twice a year, this card is a no-brainer. So download the Scapia app today and check it out. The link is in the description. Third biggest expense for me are salaries. As a creator myself, I hire video editors, I have managers, I have designers, and I pay them about 1.5 lakh rupees in total per month. There are also some other expenses that might come up. Let's say I'm having some people on freelance, so that would add up, but this is roughly how much I spend every month. It has recently increased a lot because previously I used to have people on freelance, so I would only pay them when they would edit videos. But now, because I've hired full-time people, this is a fixed cost for me every single month. But it's so much worth it because now I have dedicated talent who's going to help me edit all the videos, who's going to ensure that all of my content goes out on time, and this is so much worth it. Next up is softwares. Now, the best thing about running an online business is that you can run it from anywhere that you want to. But the worst part about it is that you have to invest in software. And because I'm making videos on YouTube, there's a lot of things that I have to take care of. The biggest expense for me is Google Drive storage. So I currently have the 10 terabyte storage and I pay about 3,000 rupees for that in a month. Then I have access to Adobe Creative Cloud. That's about 3,000, 4,000 rupees per month as well. Then I pay for other softwares like Canva. There's so many of them. Or there's this thing called Autobot, which basically helps me edit all of my podcasts. So in total, about 10,000 rupees is what I spend every single month on the software. And I think it's very important. Previously, I used to just take any free software or try to save money in this, but I think it's super important to get your team the best tools so that they can do the best work of their lives. And once you start using these tools, you realize that the value you derive from them is 100x of what you actually pay. So it actually makes a lot more sense for you to pay up for these. Next up is clothes. And because I travel so much, because I'm always in events, I need to look presentable and I need to basically take care of my personal style. I can totally not care about it and just focus on recording videos. But if you've noticed the way I style myself right now and how I used to 3 years from now, you'll see a massive difference. And that's all because I want to be perceived in a certain way. I want the people that I meet to take me seriously. And it's a very hard thing to do when you're 22, 23-year-old, getting into an industry where people only trust the gray hair people. And so the best thing you can do is to dress the part. So the best thing I've done is to invest in high quality shirts, to invest in trousers, to invest in great shoes, stuff that I can wear again and again, and stuff that would go well with multiple combinations. And about 15,000 rupees a month is what I spend on clothes itself. That gets me about 1 to 2 outfits every month. Now this could be either jackets, or I'm buying shirts, or I'm buying trousers, or I'm buying, let's say, belt or even shoes. And so roughly 15,000 rupees a month is what I normally spend on all of this. I buy from brands like Zara, H&M, from Ralph Lauren. I think more than the brands, it's more about how it makes me feel. So a lot of the times when I'm wearing these fitted clothes, it makes me feel a lot more confident. And previously, I remember in 2022 when I first came to Bangalore, I was just not caring about how I would dress myself up. And that's a big mistake. I literally used to look like an 18-year-old who's getting into these events and meeting all these people, which is great, but you cannot, close like a $5,000 a month client, a $10,000 a month client very easily with those clothes. It's just how it works. You have to invest in looking the part. Next up is Uber, basically traveling around the city or even outside whenever I'm in Mumbai or Delhi or other places. About 10,000 rupees a month is what I normally spend. Majority of this is basically going from my house to the airport and then coming back from it, because that is about 700 rupees per way. So if I'm doing like 2 to 3 trips, that's already going to cost me about 4,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees every single time. And that's basically the cost of just going to places, and it is also worth it. I'll cover about that in the later part. Keep watching this video. There's something really important that you should check out at the end of this video. Next up is food. So we already have a cook which helps us with the lunch and the dinner, but a lot of the cases I'm not in Bangalore. I am traveling outside. I'm actually having to buy food myself, and this is expensive. is about 20,000 rupees a month. And it really adds up very easily, because let's say I'm taking my friends out for dinner, we go to a nice place, we are like 3-4 people, it's very easy to get a bill of about 7 to 8,000 rupees. And I just love paying whenever I can, just myself for all the people. I just have this feeling that if I can take care of the people around me, I should absolutely do that, and that's why I do it. But it also means that the food bill that I actually have to pay every month goes up to 20,000 rupees a month very easily. So it's less me eating all the food, it's me just taking people out on like dinners. Let's say I want to take my team out for a dinner, so I take them out, we have a great time, and then that's basically the cost of doing that. Totally worth it. It's so important to invest in great experiences, because people remember that. People remember how you made them feel, and it's very important to do this. Lastly, we have some miscellaneous expenses. Let's say I want to buy a new MacBook, I need to buy a new phone, just some random expenses, and this adds up to about 20,000 rupees a month. But total, this comes to about 4,27,000 rupees every single month. This is the cost of living my life. About 3 years ago, it was never like this. I think I was spending more like 50,000 rupees a month, 70, 80,000 rupees at max. I would always try to save. But I realized this one important thing, and that is, if I won't spend what I make, I would never be able to enjoy and feel motivated to make even more. Like, when you actually enjoy the fruits of your labor, that is when you get even more motivated to keep working. Like, of course, you have the vision, the purpose to keep working, but also when you enjoy what you're spending, you feel that yes, you've earned it, and now you can go ahead and work even more for that. So that's just my thinking, and that's how I maybe rationalize myself. But let's talk about the most important part of this video, is the least amount of money you need to live in Bangalore. And the first expense is rent. Now, if you're living in a hostel, if you're investing in sharing with flatmates, a 2 or a 3 BHK, the max you would end up paying is about 15,000 rupees a month. And in that, you would not only get the stay in a hostel, you would also get a dinner meal. And so you would basically be getting food alongside the stay. Now, many hostels are not that great. I will be very honest with you. We've tried finding spaces for people who work with us in Bangalore, who've come from outside of the city, and it's tough to find it. But if you can find a great hostel which is clean and tidy and can also offer you meals, this is the best investment ever. So about 15,000 rupees a month will get you a great room, or you could even be sharing the room with another person. But that's 15,000 rupees a month. Next up is Uber or Metro. So about 4,000 rupees a month is what you should be spending on it. Now, there are only some places which you can access with Metro, but if you can, you should absolutely do that. The Metro I tried is super good. I was going from South Bangalore, Kanakpura Road, all the way to Nagsandra to IKEA. And I just loved how clean it was, how easy it was, and it felt very similar to the Dubai Metro. So try that. But the other option is Rapido. You can either take a taxi, you can either take a auto, you can also get Uber, of course. But always keep in mind that because you've taken a place which is near to your office, you wouldn't have to spend all of that money actually traveling. So you'll save on money, you'll save on time, and that is the best thing you can do for yourself. But even if you are going out in the weekends, you're taking your friends out, maybe Saturday, Sunday, you are going for the whole day, you're playing and trying out different things, max you're going to spend is about 4,000 rupees, including the metro cost per month. The next expense is food. Now, it's very easy for you to get great meals in Bangalore, especially the South Indian food. There are all of these darshanis, which are basically fast food joints, but South Indian style. So you can get a great meal for as low as 20-30 rupees, which is, I think, the best part about it. But I know a lot of you are into, getting a Starbucks. You want to get some great food, maybe get a California burrito. And so all of these are about 300 rupees per meal, 300 rupees for a coffee, 300 rupees for a California burrito. And then basically, if you're doing that, you would basically be spending about 5,000 rupees a month in this, right? So let's say your dinner is covered in your hostel and you can have one meal that would be the morning South Indian breakfast. Then you can have the rest of the money which you can spend on either California burrito or in any other food joint and order on Zomato. But this should not cost more than 5,000 rupees a month. And if it is, then you should think about how can you reduce it by maybe walking to a place nearby and having that sandwich instead of getting it from Zomato, because the prices are very different. I noticed that the price on Zomato and the price on the actual place, there's a big difference in that. Sometimes like 30%, 20 to 30%, 40% differences in price, and that is huge. And you will also be paying the delivery fees. In many of the places, if you're working in like a IT park, there are plenty of IT parks in Bangalore, you would have access to a lot of eateries inside of the campus itself. So you can go there and you can have the meal yourself. A lot of companies also offer Sodexo, which is basically a pass that you can have for getting access to meals. So that is great. If you have access to that, try using that and end up saving as much money as you can. But Bangalore, because it's so diverse, it's also known for its Japanese food, naru. It's also known for its biryanis. It's also known for its Andhra food. Nagarjuna, you should definitely go there. And this would cost you about 400-500 rupees per person per meal every time you go there. And then I'm keeping about 5,000 rupees as miscellaneous expenses. Maybe you want to invest in a great Bluetooth headphone. Maybe you want to buy a speaker. Maybe you want to buy a phone for yourself. Maybe you want to buy a new laptop. About 5,000 rupees per month is what you would be spending on that. Sometimes more, sometimes less. Or sometimes you want to go and have experiences. You want to go-karting, you want to go bowling, you want to go to Torque and just play and have fun with friends. It should not cost more than 5,000 rupees a month. So that's the expenses part of it. And total it adds up to 29,000 rupees every month. This is the bare expenses to have a decent life as a 20, 21, 23, 24-year-old bachelor living in Bangalore. You can start buying a lot of stuff and you can end up paying 50,000 rupees, 70,000 rupees a month as well. And that could very easily add up. But about 29,000 rupees a month is what you should normally be spending in Bangalore. So if you have a salary of about 35,000 to 40,000 rupees a month, that is a great time for you to actually come to Bangalore. But now let me tell you the best part about Bangalore, and that is the asymmetric opportunity of living in one of the hottest tech centers of the world. And that is, let's say you go to luma.com, just go to lu.ma. That is basically a place where all the events in Bangalore are listed. You go to Luma and you basically sign up for all the events happening in this month. And you go to these events. You will get access to VCs, to founders, to just builders, to like-minded people around you, and you can go and interact with them. If you have a portfolio as a designer, if you have a portfolio as a developer, if you have a portfolio of just being a founder's office virtual assistant for that matter, just go there and interact with people, and it's very easy for you to get access to opportunities. I know people who literally go for startup events. They not only interact and make new friends that they can later hang out with, they even get interviews and in some cases referrals and even jobs later on. So this is an asymmetric opportunity. Let's say you go to an event which is in some hotel. Let's say you go to Leela Palace, which is in Bengaluru district. You go there, you have an event, you network with people, you get free food, so dinner is covered. And you also network with people, you share them your value, you ask them what they have to offer, you figure out how can you benefit each other. And then you basically reach out to them afterwards over coffee, or just meet them in Kaban Park or meet them in Lal Bagh, go for a walk, see how you can basically help each other and basically build connections that way. The worst that could happen is you wasted 3 to 4 hours of your day in Bangalore, maybe on a Sunday or a Saturday. But the best thing that could happen is your career could completely change. You would get access to such crazy people, you'll get insights, you will get opportunities, you'll make friends. It is a no-brainer to be going for events if you're in Bangalore. The first year of me living in Bangalore, 2022, I used to go to every event that I was called at. I would network with people, I would interact with people, I would make just so many friends, I would meet up with them later on. But one thing to understand when you are networking with people is to build value in yourself first. So when you have value in yourself, you can offer that to other people, and that's why people want to sit with you, want to talk to you, want to hear your insights. So don't be that person who has nothing to offer but is just going to events one after the other, just trying to see what they can get from it. That you should never do. But this is basically the experience of living in Bangalore. This is how much it costs for you to live in Bangalore. I think it's still absolutely worth it to come live here, especially if you want to have a career in tech, if you want to have a career in even product design, or if you just want to build a startup from scratch. This is a great place to do it. Probably the best place to do it in the entire country. And let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. Check out the Scapia Federal Credit Card with a link in the description, and I'll see you all in the next video.